contingencies or buyer owns current residence. Okay? 99% of the time you should be typing standard. Home to sell is a contingency. If they do have a home to sell, make sure you check that, and then when you send out the sale, that they have a home to sell, and it is a contingency. Make sure your management knows you're selling a contingency. They're not going to count it as a sale because it's contingent. Okay? Miscellaneous contingencies would be if your loan officer ran their credit and said, I don't have enough information to say that they're pre-qualified. You can go ahead and execute the purchase agreement for today to take the home off the market, to make sure your partner doesn't sell that home to somebody, but you need to discuss that with your partner and management that you wrote a mortgage contingency that just says, give me a couple days, we'll figure it out. Okay? We're still going to cash to earnest money in this case, and on the other one where they have a home to sell. Okay? Scrolling down. Do they have a broker? Yes or no? I wrote no broker, but you have a choice to make. If it's yes, click the box that's yes, and enter in the percentage. See where that's a percentage? 3. Not 3,000, not 0.03, just 3. If it's a dollar amount, and for some reason you're just paying a flat fee, it would be 2,500 or 5,000 in this box. Okay?
Can you go back real quick to when would we use the other one, buyer owns current residence? Is there any instance when we use that, check that one?
Very unlikely. That's why I didn't cover it.
And when would we ever use the actual dollar amount on the broker commission?
Say for instance you're working with one of our real estate teams and they need X amount to cover a lease. We're not paying them a full 3%. Maybe it's only $700.
Got it. Okay.
So it's a very specific amount.
Okay.
Okay? So if the home is complete, this estimated close will populate when you mark it as sold in the system. And I'll show you how to do that. It was back on the home site selection screen. For this sake, I'm not taking this home off the market because the people in Ladera Creek would be very mad at me. So what's next? Estimated close date. If you're just typing it for today and it's not populated, you can actually put it in there. If you sell a home and it's going to be, let's say today, okay, it's the 14th of the month. We cannot close the home by the 26th. When the home's going to be complete, it's probably be the 31st, right? So you would actually auto-populate and go in and tell it, we're estimating 21 days from now would be the 3rd, I think, of next month. So you actually would populate the date in there. 21 days from the time of agreement is when you put the closing date.
I do have a question.
Yes.
So for a situation that we have it set on our end for it being the 31st of this month, but it's not projected to be, it's actually like it's behind schedule, and it's not actually going to be done until like the middle of February. If we go in and revise the purchase agreement and put the new closing date, it's not on the buyer to pay those fees, right? Because we pushed it back because it was our
Correct.
fault. Okay, just make
Yeah,
sure.
if it's our fault that the home is delayed, you actually don't even need to revise the purchase agreement. It says in there that all closing dates are estimates.
So you don't have to revise it in that?
No,
Oh, okay.
because we know that it's not going to make it. But you need to alert everyone, management, you know, mortgage people, that it's not closing. But you don't have to change anything because it's always an estimate until it's not.
Could never put to be determined.
Even if you're selling a dirt, pick a date 6 months from now, because you have to put something. Okay? We're good with that. Next one, loan type and or cash. Really simple, just pick one of those. So we're gonna do, okay, let's go and put that broker back to 0. And it's a standard agreement. Did I pick a purchase agreement? Population button, okay. We're good? So everyone in here has been trained we don't like to use outside ledger, so we would never have an opportunity where we're not typing Eagle Home Mortgage right here. It auto-populates it because it's assumed you should use it. But if you have a closing cost contribution, who can tell me what closing cost contribution you put in if you're using the national financing commitment?
2%.
0. If you're using the national financing commitment where we're buying down their interest rate, don't put a dollar amount there. If you're using the 2% towards closing costs, take the base price of the home and 2%. Put it in there. Let's say, for instance, that would be $5,000, and we'll just put it in there. Okay.
So what if, excuse me,
You okay?
what if we don't know? Like they're gonna talk to the lender's gonna
revise
give
it.
them some options. I mean, we can just leave it 0 and change it later, right?
All about setting expectations. We're going to type that in here based off the fact that you're going to use this straight towards closing costs. If you decide to go with the national financing commitment, we're going to alter this agreement.
Okay.
I'll do a revised agreement, send it out via DocuSign.
Okay.
Real simple, real easy. Okay, the next part on the checklist. Conventional, leave it. FHA, VA, change it. What does that mean? Way down here at the bottom, it's a warranty type. If it's conventional, leave it. If it's VA or FHA, change it to Texas. Does anyone remember what I picked up here? I did FHA, so we changed it to Texas, right? And here's the fundamental cure for all things that ail you. Just write yes when you're done editing this information. And hit save.
Can you tell me why we would change that to Texas for those other 2 loans?
It's a specific warranty type. There's a different warranty book that you're supposed to get, and at title, you actually get that book.
Okay.
And or an electronic version of it. Okay, so simple and easy. That was actually the most typing you're gonna do in one document. And how many was it? Probably 6, and some dots. Yes?
Okay, I just wanna make sure I got the closing cost contribution right. I'm putting 0 if we're doing the, like, if it's a buy down for the rate, and then we actually put an amount, like the 2% of the actual price.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it. So next one. These all go in depending on the orientation and whoever just made this, it changes by community. So I've got what you're supposed to have on the right and what's not supposed to be there on the left. It doesn't always mirror what's in Salesforce. So Welcome Home Center affiliated business disclosure was on there second, and obviously that got moved, but it's down there somewhere. We'll get to it. So purchase and sale agreement, right here. So purchase and sale agreement, the third one down that's underlined. What's the first thing? It says, are we paying OTP? Are we mortgage contingent? So let's go down and figure out. All this stuff's grayed out. OTP, paid by the seller. They're using our title company. 99% of the time, that's what you're gonna put. If you have mortgage contingency or no mortgage contingency, every home's a mortgage contingency unless you have a cash transaction. So just remember to check that box. Gender. Paul, y'all, is a male. You have to declare that on our purchase agreement. It also would have the opportunity if his wife was there and or significant other, that can be another male. That's okay. Take all checks from all people. Okay? And then where did you get the loan qualification from? Pre-quals always from Eagle. Are they married? Paul Y'all is not married. He's a single male. Because that's loan fraud if you declare yourself to be single and you're not. Okay? So everyone following along on the checklist. We went gender, we went mortgage contingent, we did pre-qual, and then fill in boxes that apply. So these boxes, from an audit standpoint, nobody really checks these, but it's just some people in the room named Morris and Chelsea are sticklers for rules. You want to make sure that you're putting the stuff in here. So you will check privacy policy addendum. They don't have an existing home. There is no co-broker, so you don't need it. Sales incentive addendum. We don't have that. Addendum for national man-made products is already populated. It is an FHA on this one. I checked that box, so we have to check this one. And then we have an option summary that we'll do. And we also have the election form, which is coming. Okay? And then say yes. Yes means that we have the ability to actually print this. So when you're done typing, always click yes. And then always remember to scroll up right here, because sometimes you'll lose your place. So that was purchase and sale agreement, which is PSA. Election form. Really the last big one. If you use North American Title, or I'm sorry, Cal Atlantic Title now, and see, it still says North American right there. We need
It
to
does.
and Eagle, all you have to do is check this box. Everything else is other things if you chose to go with an outside lender, and it changes a lot of the variables below. But if you just stick with Cal Atlantic Title and Eagle, you just click that box. And if you'll notice, the next thing is incentives input, $ input closing costs and incentive. Input closing costs and incentive discount on this sheet, okay? So right down here, there's a lot of variables here. Incentives, see contribute percentage and then incentive. If you gave them money off of the home, this is where you would have to put it. Purchase price incentive. Did we give them any money off this home? No. We don't do that. We're well-trained associates who don't give discounts. But we did give them some closing costs. So incentive closing costs here. What did we give them? Was it 5 in this one? 5. Okay? Or whatever it was on the first one, on the purchase price and payment, and whatever you put on there, it needs to mirror this.
We don't have to bubble anything on AV, on affiliated businesses and all stuff like that.
Where's that?
Like where it says we're gonna pay for owner's title policy and stuff like that.
That's here. Buyer elects to use
But
Eagle
like
and North American.
down one and down two.
So all those lines and bubbles, like all right there in the rest of
So
the screen.
affiliated business, sub-choice. We're not doing any of those, like
Don't do
none,
any of
none,
that.
none.
Don't confuse yourself.
Okay.
Then you come down here. Yes.
Yeah.
Then you hit yes. Okay? Now, if we had a co-broker, we would now go into the co-broker, but for the sake of the exercise, I will show you what's on the co-broker, so you don't get confused, and you can watch this cool video.